Nicole here. Still in a complaining mode. I hate being a man. I hate it so much. I really hate being a man. I hate navigating my career on my own. Uh, yeah, I hate navigating my career on my own. I don't know, I should say something that, future Nicole will be like, oh yeah, that was going on. What have I been up to lately? Tanning, lifting weights at the gym, uh, chasing parties. Gonna make a dentist appointment soon. I think that I don't really have anything special or unique to say in this moment, or maybe ever. But anyways, here I am speaking to myself and speaking to God, whether I hear Him or not. There's a carrot on my chair. Um, I don't know. My dad said that uh, problems aren't sent to us by God. They're just we create them and then God helps us out of it. I've been praying to God for a long time to save me, and it's a slow save, if at all. Today, my mother has ignored me once again, just like when she left me in court that one time, which I know she feels guilty about, but whatever, the generational trauma is such that she still leaves me when I need her the most. So, yeah, I think that, I don't see any kind of way out of this. I think that other people are going to use me and hurt me for what I am because I'm open minded, because I can be so in touch with my vulnerable sides. But that's because I'm so smart and I don't really believe in being abused or emotionally abused or neglected or manipulated. Um, I think all the men in my life have been so tumultuous, the relationships. And then my best friend told me last week or a few weeks ago, she's like, now is the time for you to invest in female relationships. And I just rolled my eyes, that's easy for you to say. You're living your good Catholic life, having children and married and accepted into a community that I just don't belong at. And it's funny because all the people who don't go to church think that I'm such a churchgoer, and I'm fucking not. Just because of how I dress? Sorry, I don't have big boobs. I can't show off cleavage. And also, when you do, it's really cold and chilly. So, yeah, don't fit in with the Republicans, don't fit in with the Democrats, don't fit in with the liberals, don't fit in with the conservatives, don't fit in with the religies, don't fit in with the non-religies. I haven't done this to myself. I haven't isolated myself, but I'm fucking isolated. Even my mom left me today, so great. I just, I don't, I'm not wrong in not caring about other people's feelings and not caring about the experience I give them. They gave me a shit experience. Um, I hate being an engineer. I hate that I'm ungrateful about it. I hate that I'm bored all the time. I hate that I feel like a total fucking failure when I face this computer. I hate all the negative, and when I do try, it's always been because I had somebody with me who was helping me navigate my career. They don't have to do it for me, but to have a companion, I don't even have a fucking lover. So, yeah, like, not even the crumbs are given to me. I don't know. And I really, really, really dislike John. I want to talk about all the past lovers and how pathetic they were and how pathetic I am for ever caring or liking or thinking that things could be different. They can't. There is no such thing as love. I'm doubling down on that. There is no such thing as love. Although, if I really had to say, speak openly, which I mean, this is my YouTube diary, uh, if I can't speak openly here, then fuck anyone else. I don't care. I think all the people I dated had terrible relationships with their mothers and had to overcompensate their nurture, their feminine side to make up for the neglect and abuse. And I think that I remind them of their mothers. And then I think the reverse is happening for me. And it's terrible and it's lonely and wanting familiarity only because why? I don't know, because God's a cruel God and made that and wrote that into our psyches, and I don't like it. But I also don't like being bored by all the people who aren't right for me. So I don't know. I don't know, like it's like a lose lose. Fuck, I have another stain. I just washed this goddamn shirt and now I'm seeing an oil stain on it. Fuck. It's just all too much, really. It's just like really all too much to do this alone. And I prayed to God so many times asking for help, and I don't know what kind of help He's giving me because I'm still suffering. And like, I don't know, like, I just really don't want to face any of this at all. And not facing it makes me feel so much worse, but facing it alone is also really fucking terrible. I when I went to university, I wanted to be a nurse. I actually wanted to be a midwife. Um, I don't know, maybe it had something to do with my relationship to responsibility, although so far at that point I had shown up for my responsibilities. Um, and there wasn't really that much saying I couldn't do it. I don't think I was warned very well about what I was jumping into. Um, but anyways, um, I made a really good nurse. I made a really good midwifery student, but I really did not like working with the other nurses, and I really did not like working with the other midwives. It was terrible. And they are like witches that don't know that they're witches, and they're like doing all these magic spells, and then you can't talk to them about any of that because they don't think they're doing anything like that. And like the most dangerous witches are the ones that don't know they're witches. And anyways, like these ladies were so mean to one another, and it was like shrapnel. It was like being in a bomb, where at any moment, even your best friend that you trust the most could frickin' report you and make a case that you're incompetent and unprofessional. And it's like, what the heck? All because you're insecure in your own nursing skills, you're gonna attack me now? Um, and like, I had really good fucking outcomes, so their results speak for themselves, but yet I was constantly facing people that were really didn't like me, and that was hard, and they were so unprofessional, and then they said I was being unprofessional. I don't know, being screamed at in the hallway by another coworker, I'd say that's pretty frigging unprofessional. Um, all I did was say a joke while somebody was in labor to help them relax, and it worked. Um, I said to the client, I was like, you just gotta breathe as though you're taking a hit to something good. And then she laughed, and then the baby came down. But uh, the other midwife didn't like that. She's like, how dare you use your emotional intelligence and intuition to help another person? That's not science. Well, it fucking worked, bitch. Um, anyways, I'm just tired. I'm so tired. Really tired because I'm expected to be a man and a woman. I'm just a woman. I don't want to be a man at all. Um, but here I am, like when nursing didn't work out, John told me, "Go and be an engineer. That's what you're suited for." And he was right. I was suited for it, and I loved it. And I loved being there in school with the other engineering students. Um, and despite all of like this shitty career, like they still have treated me the best out of any group of people were the other engineers. And I wish I could show it better for them. But anyways, um yeah, like nobody else has treated me any kind of goodness. But the engineers can only, they're not my friends. They're not my family. They're just coworkers. And I just want to go home. And I don't know how to tell that part of myself. Like, I was talking to a therapist yesterday and I told her how I have those feelings, and she was like, "That's such a sweet part of you. It's just the part that just doesn't want you to feel that way anymore." And it is such a sweet, innocent part of me that feels that way. But the truth is, that's not an option and it's not gonna work. So I wish there was some other solution. But I can tell you what I need, and the world just tells me I'm wrong and stupid for just thinking I need it. I need a committed relationship. I need a solid partner. Somebody I can talk to about everything, about day to day life, and they'll talk to me, and we make a good team. That's what I need. And the whole world, even society's like, how dare you say you need that? You don't need that. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I mean, I've done everything I possibly could. I prayed to God. I joined church. I forced myself not to do anything mischievous or bad or break the law in any way. I've built my stability for the last 3.5 years at the same job, despite the shit show of going through the background noise of whatever things that were outside of my control that I didn't fucking do. And and I still maintained my 9 to 5 job this whole time. I haven't taken any vacations. I've been paying down my student debt. I've been doing what I've been doing everything I can to build my own stability. Going to a therapist, taking care of myself, quitting drugs. All of these things. Praying to God for healing and help. Being a good friend to other people, helping them when I can. And none of it is, I don't want to show up anymore. I don't want to do anything anymore. The good, the bad. I don't want to do any of it. I just want to go home. Stop saying that, Nicole. It's not helping me. I just don't know what will help. I know. Yeah, I dated somebody in my past who I really loved, but They didn't love themselves, number one. They didn't trust women at all, um, for good reason. Um, and it was so terrible to feel that to love somebody, and then, it's one thing to love somebody and recognize that they don't love you. That is actually not so bad. That's not great, but it's not bad. If you truly love that person, you're like, oh, it sucks that it's not mutual and it's not going to turn into something that maybe I would have wanted it to. But I'm still so glad I met this person, that I exist in a world where this person exists. I've been through that. I've felt that. That's not so bad. What really is painful is falling in love with somebody, feeling that they love you back, and hearing the exact opposite from them. That is really painful. And anytime you express your love to them, it snaps back on you so that your love kind of seems like this awful, evil poison. So you can't express it because you recognize that your love is like this poison to this person. So you don't express it, which is a paradox because you love them so much that you don't express it. It hurts you. And inevitably it's going to hurt them. And, um, and there's no way out of it. Like, I really loved John. Um, uh, and no matter what I said to myself, I couldn't like I couldn't like I mean, to get so hurt by somebody who lies to themselves and lies to you, and you're like thinking, I'm crazy, because it's either I'm crazy or I'm right, one or the other. And it takes a long ass time to stop thinking you're crazy and to actually be like, hey, maybe I actually was right. Turns out I think I was right, because despite all the shit show of this life, I have not lost my mind. So how crazy am I really? Um, yeah, and that really sucked going through that with him. Um, and knowing that he, like, I don't know, and like getting so angry at his parents, who I don't know what the shit they've been through, but I'm like, obviously, you did something wrong to produce not one, but two god awful little boys. I mean, I love them, but they cause such pain to me. Such pain. And I don't know. I can't. I deserve so much more than this. I don't deserve to have a ghost as a boyfriend. And I'm supposed to just be happy and go out and live my life and just accept that I'm gonna be single forever. Well, I do that. And then and then the ghost rears its ugly head and hurts me again. Oh. And even when it's not, has nothing to do with the ghost will come in and block it with his own magical powers. Because when I dated Calvin, Calvin flew me out to, I mean, that was the most, out of any relationship I've been in, that seemed the most promising to actually be a long term, healthy relationship. But he lived in England for most of the year. He had a really good job, but it was in England. He kept saying he wanted to come back to Canada. I would have moved to England. I love England. I really, really quite love England. I would love to live in England. But he didn't want that. And he said all he talked about was how much he wanted to come back to Canada, and once he found a job, and then we would get married. Well, not only did he not look for a job in Canada, he also was gay. So I mean, dealing like with the fake lavender haze relationship that isn't working. So it didn't work on its own. However, the ghost definitely made sure it wouldn't work just in case it did, because when I got on that plane when he flew me out to England, Then who gets announced? Like, you know how they announce the latecomers to make sure they're not already on the plane because they're checked in, but they haven't come on the plane yet. So they announce to the plane all the names of the people who, just to make sure they're not on the plane. Anyways, that was so they announced my ex's name and his family members, and I thought to myself, good God, what are the chances that those people are on this flight going from the same airport to the same airport on the same flight on the same airline on the same day? Like, is this a sign from the universe that I actually am meant to be a part of that family? Fuck no. But it certainly didn't help my relationship, my budding new relationship, to hear that. And it's me that's crazy. It's me that's crazy to read anything into that synchronicity. Well, the ghost did what he could to friggin' mess, because he's a jealous ghost. He's super jealous. That's the other thing. He's very, very jealous. However, he doesn't give me anything in return at all. Whether I give him love, whether I give him hate, whether I give him nothing at all, it doesn't matter. I continually am hurt by the whole thing. You know, like you would think like if you don't like yourself that it would only hurt yourself, but that's not quite true because he doesn't like himself and I get hurt by that all the time. And no matter what I do, whether I'm apathetic or not, I get hurt and I don't like being the casualty of something I have zero control over. I just want to go home. I wanted to be this successful engineer. To make my family proud, to give them the things that they deserve. To pay for trips. To give them the experiences that I want them to have. And it doesn't pan out that way. I don't know what to do. I suck at my job. And the ghost is never gonna resurrect himself. And I have tried to divorce myself from all of that and go and find somebody new, and it never fucking works. And I hate dating, and when I do it, and I do it, and I do it, and I hate it. I hate it. I don't like meeting new people on a one-on-one basis. I like meeting people in groups. I just want to go home. Stop, Nicole. It's not helpful. It's not helpful. I was like, I got really high last night. I bought some pot yesterday and I got high. And then I thought about my YouTube channel and how pathetic it was. And everyone else has such a polished look. And I'm here posting these grainy videos with whatever comes out of my mouth, the good, the bad, the ugly. And I don't know why I do it. I don't know why. And I I just think that if I could communicate more clearly with the universe, that maybe then the universe would be able to give me what I need. Because I don't know what else to do. I don't want to face my job. I mean, even when I went to Catholic church and I bit the bullet, and I was like, okay, try something, even though I don't think it's gonna work. And it didn't work, and it hurt me even more because these Catholic men are so, at this one church, are so I don't know. They never grew up, and it hurts, and it very much is like Peter Pan and Tinkerbell. And like Tinkerbell gets hurt, and Peter Pan just laughs and laughs and laughs because he's still a boy. Um, it's like, how do I escape that? You know, you can't make somebody grow up. You can't make somebody acknowledge truth that exists, no matter how true it is. I want to go home. Stop, Nicole. Stop. Stop. It doesn't help. I don't know the way out. I know. I don't think any parts of me do. Or else I would have already done it. I want to go home. I don't want to be rejected. I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to be treated unfairly. I don't want to end up in trouble with the law. And I don't want to hurt anyone. It's so counterproductive. It's funny because I do have a lot of freedom in my life, but not quite enough. And I want even more. I don't understand why he couldn't be honest. But it's like, I get that I can remind them of their mothers. I get that. But I'm not their mother. And I haven't done what those women did, and I haven't hurt anyone. And ultimately, I was innocent despite being really, really guilty. So there's a reason why I got off, despite blatantly being so guilty. So I guess the law did somehow work at that time, but that was a risk like no other. And it was very stressful to go through court like that. Again, again. God, going through it once as a victim, going through it once as a criminal. I would like to be on a juror one more time with the court, and then I got to see it from all perspectives other than being a lawyer and a judge, um, and the social worker, like jury, victim, criminal, juror, victim, criminal. I do so love law. I really wish I had become a lawyer, but I don't think I have the work ethic. If I can't do fucking engineering, then why would I think I could do something that's even more demanding of your time? Oh, God. Just, I don't know. I like lawyers too. I really like a good lawyer. They're fun. They're fun. They're so smart and so, I don't know, a good pessimist. I don't mind. I myself am actually an optimist, which is why I suffer so roughly. The pessimist um, looks like an optimist, but they're actually not. It's always the reverse. The most cynical, the most outwardly annoyed people are actually the optimists on the inside. That's why they're annoyed, because they know and believe that things can be better. The pessimist does not believe they can be better, so they do what they can on the outside. Hashtag Grimes, I wish you'd hear me because you think you're an optimist. You're a pessimist. I am an optimist. This is what optimism looks like. Yeah, it's not fucking romantic and it's not pretty, but this is what fucking optimism looks like. And I just want to go home. Stop saying that, Nicole. It hurts me because I know you deserve better. I know. I really hate being ignored. I really, really hate being ignored. I think when I was a baby, I think like back in the 90s, it was like a thing to be like, let your baby cry. It's good for their lungs. No, it's not good for their attachment style. I'll tell you that much. It's not good for their psyche. I hate being ignored. I don't know, I'm getting really tired of just trying to rely on pot and alcohol when I feel at my worst. They really don't cut it. I want oblivion. I don't want this shit distraction that just prolongs suffering. I want total oblivion. Um, Unfortunately, psychedelics used to do that for me, not anymore. It's like I've reached my neurochemical quota for a lifetime, it seems. So I can't even use that to blast off to some other reality. I don't see a way out. I really don't. Oh, and yes, I am in therapy. And that is helpful, but I seriously do not see a way out of this. Like, I really do just have to like create an identity around me being single forever, whether I have to pretend that there's an evil magic spell on me that's gonna keep me single forever. If I have to pretend that, then I have to pretend that because this is not sustainable. And what was the point of sacrificing these 3.5 years to build stability only for me to spin out? I don't understand why they don't show up. I really don't understand. And I can't get them to show up. So I just have to go without. I just have to go without. Learn how to go without, or learn how to give it to yourself. I'm so jealous of other women. Other women got to have babies. Even if they got divorced, at least they got married to begin with. I'm so fucking jealous of other ladies. What do they have that I don't have? Fuck. It was not as though John number one I wanted to marry him. I don't, and I'm glad I didn't, and I feel so sorry for his wife. Um, I really feel sorry for her, and I hope and pray that her second labor goes way smoother than the first. Oh my god. I really hope she's not being abused by him. Although, if she is, there's nobody to protect her. number two, I'm also glad that I didn't marry him because he held me back in so many ways. All he wanted to do was play video games and get fat, and I didn't want to do that. I didn't want that for my life, and I wanted to go to parties, and he'd always make me feel so bad. And then he was cruel to me, and he read my journal, and he used all the things I'd said privately against me, and then when he was really cruel, and I would say, "You're being so cruel right now," he would deny that he said anything, even if it had literally just been said. So, yeah, that guy, I'm not wanting to marry that guy. That guy was one of the kindest boyfriends and also the most cruel boyfriend I ever had. So, I don't mind not being with him. Then what about ex number three? Oh, the worst one. God damn, the one that really broke my heart. Oh, fuck. That guy raped me. Um, and and then he followed me around as like a ghost and would not let me go. And oh god, that guy really hurt me. He introduced me to drugs, and now he works at a camp for with teenagers who are addicted to drugs, helping them to get clean, which I guess is his penance. And I'm glad that he gets to feel oh so good about himself because he can do his penance for introducing me to drugs. Fine, that's great, but you know what? That doesn't help me at all. That didn't, no amount of helping teenagers deal with their drugs helped me deal with my own drug issues. I had to do that on my own. I didn't have any help at all. I had to do that on my own, by myself. I didn't have you or your love or your family or anyone to guide me. Okay? And then so, yeah, it's great that you're doing penance, but ultimately I didn't benefit at all from any of that. I still have to deal with the consequences. So, yeah, that wasn't so great. Um am I sad well, you never were honest with me, like you were never ever ever honest with me. You manipulated me. You play dumb, you pretend that you don't know what I'm talking about, you put me in the crazy light, you tell people I'm crazy, that I'm some kind of evil stalker. It's the opposite. You're those things, not me. Okay, and I told you the truth. You said you'd help me with work. You never did. Um, and sending your friends in the hopes that that's gonna like appease me or something only made it way worse. Okay, no, there is no replacement for you. So sending your god awful cousin to try and date me didn't fucking work well. Okay, and actually, John number one did that as well. So, and it didn't work then, and it's insulting, and I do not like that. I do not appreciate that. I don't appreciate you sending your friends to check in on me at all. Okay, because what it does is it solidifies that you care about me, even though you tell me again and again just how much you don't care about me at all. So, you know what? Stop. Okay? Stop. Leave me the fuck alone. Yeah, I'm sad I didn't marry you, but you're so fucked up that a marriage between you and me would be disastrous. Everyone knows that. It doesn't take too much smartness to see that. Okay, so am I glad I didn't marry you? No, I'm not. I wish we did get married, but I also wish that you were healthy and could handle a healthy relationship. And ex number four. Fuck. I don't feel brokenhearted by you, but that was a fucking trick. Uh, yeah. Sleeping with my ex's brother. That's obviously such a terrible thing for everyone. For literally everyone. I mean, being nihilistic and thinking that it doesn't matter because nobody's gonna know, and everyone found out. And, and then getting pregnant accidentally, and or was it on purpose? I don't know, but whatever. Getting pregnant by your ex's brother and then having a miscarriage, that I think is just about enough. That is just about enough. Really solidifies that God didn't choose me to be a mother. No man chose me to be a mother. I remember the weekend it happened. I made 4 different separate unrelated plans. I was gonna pick up a record at the record store. I booked a massage for myself. I planned a date. And I planned to go to an open house. When I went to get the massage, the guy was sick, and they told me that they emailed me, which was a lie because I never gave them my email. So I never got that massage. I showed up there, 9 a.m. appointment, no massage. And then I went to the record store that was supposed to open at 11. Got there at 11:30, not open. I waited an hour and a half, still not open. I think some teenager, I don't know, like just like the massage guy was too hungover to go to work that day. I guess the teenager was too hungover to get to their job. Anyways, so no vinyl record. I did call later in the day. And I'm like, oh yeah, I was there and it wasn't open. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. I was late. Okay, well, regardless, no vinyl record, no massage. And then my date texts me and cancels because they got COVID. Okay, no date. And then when I went to go to that open house on the Sunday, I went from the bottom, like there were from like it's on a hill. I went from the bottom of the hill, and right when I got there, a police closed the road, and I thought, okay, well I'll come from the top. So I went all the way around, and as soon as I got to the top, ready to go down the hill, a cop arrived and closed it, and that road was closed, and there was no way to get to that open house. 4 things unrelated to each other, and they all fucking failed. And then I had a miscarriage, and I just thought it was God's way of telling me no, you know, no. And the truth is, I'm not really mad at God, but I don't know how to get his attention. I don't know how to get God's attention. And I just really got hurt. And I want to go home. I don't want to fail anymore. Anyways, after that, I did take a stress leave. And then the day that I returned to work was the day that I got arrested. And then that set in motion going to those court appearances. I got arrested because I left 10 voicemails on the guy who got me pregnant's landline. Um, over a 2-week period, I left 10 voicemails, and they were quite extreme. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I definitely said some things that maybe some of them were true, maybe some of them weren't true, but they were really fucking hurtful, and I meant it, and I still mean it. I'm not ashamed by leaving those voicemails. I wish I could hear them back still. Um, anyways, uh, so then I got arrested the day I returned back to work, and then it was about a year and a half of court appearances, and I'm not sure if I was going to end up with a criminal record. As it turns out, I didn't. I don't have a criminal record. I wasn't convicted, although I was guilty as fuck. I mean, I really did leave those 10 voicemails. There's no way around that. That is hard evidence. I did that. But, uh, but yeah, there was not even a peace bond. Nothing. Nothing happened. But it was still quite the punishment and quite the stress for me to go through. And it didn't cost me even a penny. I didn't even take one day off of work. Every time I had to go to court, I just played hooky. And I didn't hire a lawyer, so it cost me $0 for that, other than the gas money that to get to court occasionally. That's what it cost. Um, anyways, yeah, like going through that was awful. And that was the second time. The first time I was through court was after being raped by this murdering son of a bitch who was a serial rapist. And, anyways, he ended up raping a few girls within the span of a week. And when I was at the hospital, the cop heavily hinted that they knew who this guy was. So then I decided to press charges, and that was and then I had to go through the court process as a victim. That happened first before the other shit happened, and before I ever got pregnant. And anyways, when that went down, that was hard, you know. And especially the lawyer, his female lawyer. Oh my God. She would show up to court. One time she showed up to court. She had like this like straight black, perfectly manicured, dark hair and black hair. And and then she wore this like incredible, in any other context, I would have loved it. This incredible suit that was plaid. It was this pink and black plaid. Oh my God, it looked so good. But considering the context of what she was doing and therefore it felt so painful to see some beautiful woman who's obviously very smart, hardworking, has good fashion sense, but to use her fashion sense for evil, to bring out her own femininity. It's like subtly you're saying to the judge and the jury, like, this guy's not bad. Look at how womanly I am, and I'm defending him. And it's like, wow, you're using your love of fashion for evil. Like, what? Like, wow, that sticks out in my mind as being particularly hurtful, and I've been fucking hurt by other women plenty of times. That one was particularly noticeable. Luckily, I don't know that woman, and she's just a goddamn lawyer, so who cares? But like, wow, that fucking sticks out in my memory. The fucking pink and black plaid suit at a rape trial. God damn. That sometimes life be fucking intense, and that was one of them. Um, and yeah, fuck. Um, yeah, I I don't know, like, uh, I don't know. This has been really terrible. This has been a terrible experience for me. Fun as it has been, it's also been quite terrible. It has been fun at times, but it has been so terrible. I don't know if the fun makes up for the terribleness, but um, yeah, I really have been through an awful lot. No wonder I'm so tired. No wonder I really don't want to face putting together engineering drawings. And yet, this is what makes me feel better. But I don't know, it's almost like to God, like I refuse to do it. I refuse to do it because I don't know. I guess I think that if I refuse, that you'll finally give me what I want. Like, I want a committed long term relationship with a man I actually respect. Like, that's what I want, a companion. But it's impossible. It really seems to be so impossible. And like they never like took accountability for the shit. Like they're just like, you're crazy, you're defective. I don't need to think about this. It's up to you to solve your own shit. And it's like that doesn't take any responsibility. Like there's no accountability. Like, okay, I'm left thinking I'm crazy, and yet like that's not quite true. I'm not crazy. It's rational to feel this way after being through what I've been through. Um, and being disappointed in the ways that I was disappointed. I mean, I had a boyfriend who cheated on me for a few years and then married somebody with the same name as me right after I broke up with him, and had her move in. And then all those relationships that I had grown up with literally were like, hey, this is okay. We're gonna ignore this blatant abuse. And you better get over it real quick, Nicole, right? Or else we'll ostracize you. And it's like, hey, I grew up with you. Like, Yeah, I understand that I had a shit experience where this guy cheated on me, but for you guys to sweep it under the rug, I mean, you tell me the worst sin. God. Uh, so I lost out on literally my family. My family betrayed me on that one. Um, that I grew up with those people. I idolized them. I loved them. I wanted to be like them. And then when he did what he did, you reacted in such a way like that you really didn't need to. You didn't need to do that. You didn't need to attack me in order to make it okay. You didn't need to attack me at all. I wasn't going to do anything. And yet it's like, oh, Nicole, you better not cry. You better not cry. Because if you cry, then we're going to have to face that we don't like ourselves and we don't want to face that. So you better not cry. Uh, and well, it's impossible for me not to cry because I still had to deal with the consequences of all of that and the fallout of that. So, like, what? And then, and then to be like thrust into this world, this dating experience in my city, and it's like, oh my God, like, wow. I mean, I thought after that went down in my life, I honestly thought, well, good to get the pain like quota through with it. And yeah, that really sucked, but I'm still young. I'll be able to rebuild better relationships that are healthier. And, I built a house on sand. Now I'm going to build a different house on some solid ground. And that didn't work. Like, it didn't work. No matter where I looked, all there was sand. And, yeah. So, and then even when I did things that worked for other people, like going to church, I found that was like the worst sand of it all. Like, and I'm like, wow, my first house seems to have been the best house I built, and that one was pretty terrible. So not really sure what to do about that. And then there was ex number five, who didn't want to move to Canada, not really, and was gay and lying about it to me, and probably to himself to some extent, and that was really hard to deal with. Uh, and now there hasn't been any other exes. There's just been almost near misses. But yeah, the latest near miss, same story again. Pretty much like John, number two. You don't like, I have to be a man, you have to be a woman, and how's that working out for us? Not well. So yeah, like, whatever. I think that, like, this has been so terrible. This has been a really terrible experience. Um, yeah, this has been a really, really terrible experience. I cannot face it. I don't want to face it alone, that's for sure, but none of those guys from my past, it's one of two things. Either I'm glad they're not in my life, or I'm just still so hurt that they weren't honest with themselves, and therefore they were incapable of doing whatever they needed to do. So it's like if they're incapable, they're incapable. What can you do about that? Not much. So that's where I'm at. And then on top of that, my grandmother was a freaking evil person. What was she evil? I don't know. I don't know. But certainly, like, don't have that outside family to rely on. And then my own parents have their own inner child wounds that, you know, a daughter can really only do so much. Like, if you're not going to take care of yourself, you're not going to take care of yourself. And that's hard to live with. So, just want to go home. Oh, yeah. And then over the sentencing thing, when my mom left me there to be there alone, and he's sitting with his whole family, and they're looking at me, and they're giving me dirty looks, especially his girlfriend. Oh God, who wants to date someone that's gone to prison for 4 years? That is quite the trick. Oh, okay, so he shows up with a girlfriend. Even the rapist is in a long-term relationship. Even the rapist is in a long-term relationship. Um, and then I'm sitting there alone. My mom just left me there, and I'm sitting there alone, and they're looking at me, and they're sneering at me, and I'm just like, wow, even he has a family. One thing is, I read my victim impact statement, and the lawyer said this is the best victim impact statement that I've ever read, and even the judge said that to me. Well, I'm so glad that my writing skills are good. They're pretty good for an engineer, I'd say. And well, especially when there's emotion behind it. Yeah. But why did he have to be at that framing store right when I was calling my friend? You know, that led to me being raped by the rapist. Like, okay, God, I get it. I was molested as a child by my uncle. I'm so glad that you had to use a soulmate to make me realize that. Too bad you couldn't fucking make me just realize it on my own without getting hurt all over again. They wouldn't let me tell them the truth, and now I'm like, now I'm just making this YouTube channel with all the truth, just dropping all of it because they wouldn't let me tell the truth before. So where there's a will, there's a way. If I can't express myself openly, then I'll do it in front of little strangers. Just wanna go home. I'm supposed to be working. I'm supposed to be doing this grading plan. I'm supposed to be doing this. It's good for my brain. Please do it.